Good afternoon, and welcome to Gimme Some Sugar Baking with Steven. Thank you for joining me today. This is a wonderful Sunday afternoon. So, I'm so happy to be back on the show and to show you guys one of the desserts that's been asked of me all the time, and I've never had it on my menu. But you know what? After much request, I had to add it, and I wanted to share it with the world on how to make the best mini upside-down pineapple cake. So, when we come back from commercial break, I'm going to show you all the details, step by step, the process, how easy it is, and the end result, and how your family is going to love you when you make this cake. See you when we get back after commercial. So, welcome back to Give Me Some Sugar Baking with Steven. I am so thrilled to be with you today, this afternoon. And I'm going to show you how to make the most tastiest upside down pineapple cake you had in your life. So, let's start. I'm going to show the ingredients on the screen. You can go ahead and look at it, jot it down. So, for the topping, we're going to start with 1 can of pineapple rings, or you can have a fresh pineapple if you fancy. Also, going to have 6 maraschino cherries, a 1/4 cup of butter, and a 1/2 cup of brown sugar for the topping. And for the batter, we're going to start with 1 1/2 cups of cake flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/2 cup of softened butter, 1 cup of sugar, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a 1/2 cup of pineapple juice. And mind you, the eggs and the butter all have to be at room temperature. Okay, so let's begin. All right, so the first process in making this cake is to actually start not on the cake itself, but the caramel topping. And I'm going to show you what to do. Okay. So, I already have everything pre-measured. Here is the brown sugar. Okay. Goes into the pot. And then we can add a stick of butter. I like a caramel that's rich and caramelly. I don't want to skimp on flavor. Sometimes with these kind of cakes, you have a little bit of caramel and a whole lot of cake. I want a whole lot of caramel and a whole lot of cake. I want to be a nice proportion, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and add that butter to the pot. And now I'm gonna go to the stove. I'm gonna melt that down over a low medium heat. And I'll bring over my camera so you can see me. Matter of fact, I'll just take the phone on so you can see what's going on. Okay, so in that pot, you can see the butter and the brown sugar. Perfect. And you want that to melt down. And once it melts down, we're going to keep whisking it until it creates a caramel sauce. Okay. I'm going to use my whisk to kind of get it started. And it's already melting. I already can't tell, but it's already melting. Try to do its thing. Again, having a nice whisk in the kitchen is a great tool because it helps expedite everything. Now, mind you don't want your pot to be too high because what happens is brown sugar can burn, and we don't want burnt brown sugar in our cake. And just like that, you see how that caramel is coming together. Okay? So that's always the first step in making this cake, is getting that prepared. Okay. fast that melted down. It wasn't even on the pot that long. It just melted down quickly and created a caramel. And you want it to cook down about a minute or two, just to make sure everything is combined and smooth and luscious. You don't want to overcook it, but you don't want to undercook it. You want the sugar to be completely melted. You don't want no granules of sugar. Can you see that? See how that's coming together that fast? I'm gonna go ahead and let that do its thing. Come back over here real fast. Bear with me real quick. I'll put you back on my stand. Okay, sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulty. All right. All right, now here we go. We're back. Sorry, these little pot stands don't always work with me the best. All right, there we go. Okay, so our caramel is done. And now I'm just going to do a good whisk to ensure that it's all combined nice and smooth. I wish you can smell it in here. It smells like caramel popcorn, or even better. Okay, so that's all nicely whisked. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside. And then we're gonna start our cake. Okay, so now you can see the. So to our mixing bowl, we're gonna add a half a stick of butter. And I've already pre-measured the sugar. Okay, so add that to our bowl. Crank up our lever. I'm going to start on low speed. I'm going to cream the butter and the sugar until it gets nice and creamy. You can see what's going on. So let that cream about 3 minutes or so it's light and fluffy. The color will change from yellow to white. Again, this butter has been left out for room temperature. So the butter has been softened overnight actually. And I'm always baking something, I always set it out overnight. My butter and my eggs, my dairy, my buttermilk, or my cream. Because you want everything to be at room temperature. And that's how you're going to ensure you have a nice, tender cake. Okay? We got that going on. And after about a minute or two, when this is mixed up nice and good, we're going to add our eggs one by one. That's it. So let me tell you about this cake. People have been asking about upside down pineapple cake since I started getting some sugar. And at first I was resistant because I didn't want to put it on the menu. But after numerous requests, people kept asking and asking for it. So I decided, you know what? Why not? I think what happened for me, I went on a recent trip to Hawaii. And pineapple was everywhere. So that kind of inspired me to come back. I'm going to add upside down pineapple cake to my menu. So here we are. So that's mixing up right now, nice and good. I'm gonna go ahead and start my egg one by one. Remember, one egg at a time. And always crack your eggs in a bowl. Never crack your egg and put it into the mixer. And while that egg is in there beating nice and good, make sure you're scraping your side of your bowl. And just stop your mixer from time to time. Just scrape your side of your bowl to make sure everything is combined evenly. Okay? You want your butter, your sugar, and your eggs to be thoroughly mixed together. You don't want no clumps. You don't want no inconsistencies. So just take some time out with a little spatula and go around your bowl and scrape it. Simple. Because what happens if you dump everything in there, well, I don't say dump's a bad word, but if you put everything in that bowl, and usually your mixer does a good job of combining and mixing everything evenly. However, there are times where it doesn't, and then you'll have a disaster. So just stop your mixer and add your salt. Okay? Here's our second egg being mixed up nice and good. As you can see. It's an easy cake to make. It's very quick. Doesn't take long for things to come together, and within minutes you'll have an excellent and delectable homemade dessert. So now that butter is mixed up, we're gonna go ahead and add our vanilla. Okay, so I'm gonna add the vanilla, and always have your measuring spoons. Measuring spoons are a good thing, right? And this is where I go crazy. I love vanilla. I know it's expensive. It's a splurge, but your baked goods will thank you when you have pure vanilla. Not. All right, great. One more scrape. Let's make sure everything is combined. It smells so good right now with the butter and the vanilla and the sugar. So now that we have that good to go, we're going to go ahead and add our flour, which is already pre-measured. And I'm going to add my salt to that flour. So here's a fourth of a teaspoon of salt to my 1.5 cups of flour, cake flour rather, and also 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm going to go ahead and add this, not at one time though, in 2 intervals. Another thing, you don't want to, again, put all of your dry ingredients. You want to slowly introduce the dry to the wet, okay? And 1/2 cup of pineapple juice, okay? So I'm always going to use Dole. I love Dole pineapple, as you can see, okay? And it's always going to be pineapple packed in juice. And this is the thing, you do not throw out the juice. You use the juice for the whole cake, basically. So this recipe calls for 1/2 cup of pineapple juice. I'm going to get my juice from the can. I'm going to measure it. Awesome. And that is a little over 1/2 cup. So it's about 3/4 cup. I'm not going to add that much. So I'll just use my eyeball. I know how much to put in there. So with the wet and the dry, we're going to go ahead and slowly mix that together. Let's see how it's looking. You want to introduce the ingredients. You don't want to chop them, okay? And we're going to go ahead and we're going to scrape our sides. Again, scrape your side. That's your key to a good cake too. You don't want nothing clinging to your bowl that you didn't get mixed up in the entire cake. Okay. I love spatulas. It pays to have a plethora of spatulas in different sizes and different shapes. It makes your cake baking so much easier. And I'm going to add the remaining of my flour to the bowl. Okay. And remember, this was over a half a cup, so I'm not going to add all of it, just almost, but not all of it. Pineapple juice to that. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to turn this down. I'm going to scrape my bowl with flour and get stuck on the bowl. Just to make sure everything is combined. Doesn't hurt to scrape. And we're just about done with this batter, believe it or not. I'm going to put this in the oven real soon. It's an easy cake, man. I mean, you just bake it up. And it's always best to have this cake warm. I'm not one of the people who like to eat this cake 3 days later. I like to have it when it's freshly made out the oven. Oh my God, it's to die for. And then I'm going to add my cinnamon to the batter. And the cinnamon kind of enhances the pineapple flavor. Okay. Quick little spin. All right, and we are done. Go ahead, clean my area up because we need some space to go ahead and do the prep for the pan. Okay. So we have our caramel that we already had started on. We have our pineapple. And we have our maraschino cherries. Okay. So the caramel has already been cooled down. Just give it a nice little whisk. Okay. And we're going to spoon the caramel in a pan like this. This pan is a perfect pan for upside down pineapple cake because it's a nice thickness, nice ratio for cake and caramel. So, and the pineapple as well too. It can fit the whole pineapple ring without, having to squeeze it in there. So it's a perfect pan for this type of cake. All right. Go ahead, give it a cool little whisk. Take my spoon. I'm going to go ahead and start spooning this caramel into the pan. So I have 6 mini cakes. And this caramel will take care of 6 mini cakes. So just the perfect amount. And it's perfect for entertaining. If you're having a small dinner party at home or a get together, and you don't want to bake a big cake, you want everyone to have their personal cake, it's an awesome idea to make this dessert. Okay, and I got one more. Of course, I need my spatula. So the spatula comes in handy. Spatula gets that last little bit off that spoon and not that pot. You want all that going into your pan. Nothing gets wasted here. Scrape that out. All that caramel lusciousness. Right there. I'm gonna show you in a minute how the pan looks with the. Okay, wrapping this up. Okay. So now I want to get my pineapple. So the pan itself is ready to go ahead and start. And always make sure you're a clean cook. You know, I don't want no drips and drops on presentation. It's about everything. So if you can see, that's the caramel, right? And I'm gonna add my pineapple slices one by one. Take a fork, put it right in the middle. One slice per pan on top of the caramel. Okay, great. Now I'm gonna use that same fork and put my cherries on it. Now you can see how that look. Awesome. Cherries one by one. As a kid, I did not like these cherries. I hated these cherries. I thought they were fake. But then I realized it was a process to making these cherries this color. So they weren't fake. And I had a better appreciation for them when I got older. So me and Marcello cherries have a good friendship now. We're not enemies. So that's that. They're a little stubborn sometimes. Don't want to come out. But there we go. And one more for the road. Perfect. All right. So now I am ready to put my batter in. Boom. So the batter's been done. It's been chilling. It's been hanging out. Remove that batter from the stand. Mix with my spatula to make sure that nothing got missed. And okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and start my batter. This is enough for 6 cakes. Watch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and guess what? We're good to go. Boom. So now the cake is ready to be placed in the oven. So I'll be right back. Put this in the oven at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes. This depending on how fast your oven cooks. Okay? When we come back from commercial break, we'll take some questions and just go down some memory lane memories about baking with Steven. So I'll see you when I come back. Welcome back to Give Me Some Sugar Baking with Steven on this Sunday afternoon, and we are baking mini upside down pineapple cakes. And we are so excited to share this with you guys today. So this cake, I said, was a cake that people have been requesting. And, when I look back in my life, this is a cake that always appeared on tables for holidays, barbecues. It's always how should you say, a celebratory cake. People love to have that cake at a function. And it was also one of the first cakes that you put out would disappear within minutes, like magic, So the cake is a good cake. It's a versatile cake. It's flavorful. It's buttery. It's caramelly. It has fruit. Um, and it has a lot of things going on. And I think that's what makes people happy with that cake. From the first bite they take of that cake, it transports them to a place or a person in their life who made that cake. I always hear, oh, my aunt made the best upside down pineapple cake. Oh, or my cousin made that cake, or my mom, my grandma. It brings back so many memories for people when they have upside down pineapple cake. So I think the version that we made today is going to be right up there with your aunt, and your grandma, and your mom. It's that good. So right now, I want to answer some questions and see what's out there. Good afternoon. Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us, Charles. Right away. And that's the thing. The cake has to be baked right away. And I think it has to be enjoyed right away to be at its optimal taste profile, because you want that warm taste of that brown sugar, that caramel, that warm caramelized pineapple. See, what happens with the pineapple is if the pineapple bakes in the cake, it just gets better. It intensifies the flavor. So the cake is better when it's warm. I agree. Hey, Izzy, how are you? Thank you for joining. Give me some sugar baking with Steven, my love. My love for baking, how did it begin? Wow, okay. As a child, I was greedy. I love cake. I love anything sweet. So I think when I got older, well, around 11, 12 years old, my interest for baking elevated because I wanted to do it all the time. And I watched cook shows and baking shows. And back then, you didn't have Food Network, you didn't have Cooking Network. I would go to Channel 12, PBS Channel 12 back in Philadelphia. And I would turn on the cooking shows and watch Julia Child or that guy from Louisiana, who was it, Justin somebody. He had a real funny accent. He used to always say, I guarantee, and he would bake things and I would see things being baked. And I'd say, oh, I can do that, and that's where it began. Thank you. Yes, come join us, please. The more the merrier. The best place in the house is the kitchen. Hey, that's right, Karen. You got it. I stay in the kitchen, right? It's like, it's the heart and soul of your home, So why not make your kitchen pleasing, right? And make it the place where people want to congregate and be connected to you, Because I think through food and through the kitchen, people get a sense of who you are, and they get to know who you are and where you came from. And, your life is basically displayed in your kitchen when you create these dishes and desserts. People see, oh, wow, I like this person. I understand where he comes from, his background. It's very similar but different, but, you can share a lot of commonality in the kitchen. Yeah, so I agree. My mixer is a professional 5+ KitchenAid mixer. It is about 5 quarts, I believe. Hold on, I don't want to miss you. 5 quarts. Yep. And it has a lot of speeds on them. You can probably see the side of it. Professional 5, right here. Plus, I had to get this mixer recently because the one that I had it for 16 years. Was on its last leg, and I had to upgrade. So I'm glad I did. This is more power. This is 525 watts. So I have more speed, more power to mix up heavier loads of batter or whatever I'm doing. It's more efficient. So far so good. I'm very pleased with this. Thank you, Karen. Dough is the best. Listen, all day. I mean, who else is out there make pineapple? Del Monte. I don't want to be discriminative, but I think Dole has a grip on the market. They know the product, they know their customer, and Dole just delivers the best pineapple, regardless. It's all right. I know that's right. You know what? That when I was a kid, I want to lick the spoon just once. That was always my like thing, that my aunt would like, get out of here. We're not having that. So I'm with you on that one, Izzy. Thank you. Hi, Kendra, Miss New York. How are you? You think you're gonna try baking from scratch now? Well, it's the easiest thing. It's fun. It's fun too. It is. It's also a stress releaser too. You don't. You kind of have an outlet to do something, and you focus on the product and the cake. So it's a good, hobby to do as well. So you know what? You'll be happy, and your family will be happy if you start baking from scratch. Trust me. You love cherries. I love cherries too. But I was at first. I wasn't too keen on maraschino cherries. I don't know, but as a kid, I was like, that's fake, but they're real. This is the perfect Sunday dessert. Any baked pastry with pineapples is divine. I so agree. Yes, 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 Kendra. I'm there with you. Oh, thank you. So relaxing to watch. I try to make it relaxing. I try to make it fun. I try to show that it's real life, and you do have mishaps in the kitchen when you bake, or, and you got to know how to bounce back and keep going. So that's what I try to do. Oh, watch out. And he said she had to have her a sweet treat tonight. Kendra, you hear this? Oh, the best cooking show. Thank you. You never know. We may be big time soon. Wink, wink. But there you go. She loved Thomas Periano, my wife's favorite. She has excellent taste, Thomas. Yes, yes, yes. Karen, my dad's favorite. I would have to try your recipe. Please do. Your dad would be so happy if you do this for him. And listen, everybody know my mom's was so good. Like this cake just really, people always identify someone in their family who made this cake in one form or another. They know this cake was being made. So, I'm sure her mom's was excellent, Kendra. Yes. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, thank you all. Without us, without you guys here with me, it would be no Give Me Some Sugar Baking with Steven. So I thank you all for taking time out on your busy Sunday to join me to bake this cake. Remember him, Kendra? His name was Justin. I can never think of his last name, but he was a real country guy. And he said, I guarantee, and I was really smitten with him. He would never think he knew how to cook. Just looking at him outside, just he never judge a book by the cover. But he used to make some amazing food, and I remember that on PBS as a child. Yes. What advice could you give to someone that is just starting out? And I'm assuming baking. Yes. Okay. Well, with baking, the advice I can give people is that have a goal in mind, what you're trying to achieve. Number one, have fun with it, and be at ease with it. I think when you're anxious and when you are trying to rush it or trying to make it what you think you want it to be, and the end result isn't that picture in your head, that's when a disappointment sets in, and then you don't want to do it ever again. And you know what? One more thing too. Just keep trying till you get it. You have to keep trying. Like, how many cakes I've thrown out through the years, or didn't come out the pan, or didn't do anything correctly. I would get so frustrated as a child, but you know what? It encouraged me to keep going because I was determined to get that cake right. And you know what? Here I am now. So, thank you so much, Izzy. You have a beautiful kitchen. I love the way you present your dessert. I love pretty food. Yeah, look, pretty food is the thing. You want people to see the beauty in what you do. And if you're not in a good headspace and you start to cook and bake, whatever, your food is going to reflect that. So you have to be present with your food. Yes. Those are still made in the USA. Yes, agree. They are, Thomas. They are. Or I could save time and order yours. Ha, you bake so effortlessly. Well, that would be awesome. And give me some sugar. We would love to have you order something. You may be doing that soon than you think because we have a website coming up for Give Me Some Sugar, hopefully by next month. So stay tuned for updates. Hi, Jean Kelly. Jean Kelly is saying she's waiting for Kendra to purchase a cake for Mother's Day from you. Surprise. All right, Kendra, you got the message. All right. You better get to it, Kendra. Yes. Who in your family, Charles has asked me, who in my family was the best baker? Can you share a story? Great. When I look back, who was the best baker in my family? I had a great aunt, and her name was Aunt Edie, and she was the person who baked her tail off, and she was the person who actually used to babysit me as a child after school. My mom would go to work, and we would go to her house after school, and she always had a cake dish on her counter, and I remember it was always this beautiful tall cake in this plastic Rubbermaid cake dish. It wasn't a glass one; it was a Rubbermaid, very distinctive. I remember because it had a handle on top of it, and I would look every week to see what would be in that cake, container. And she was an excellent baker. I mean, her cakes just tasted like heaven. And I remember, like, funny story, one day I wanted a piece of cake so bad, and she was watching her soap operas, Young and the Restless, and she was like nodding off, watching the stories. I was about 7 years old, and this was after school, and I went in the kitchen, and that cake was calling me. I kept walking past that cake dish, and I don't know what overcame me as a 7-year-old, but I went to that cake dish and removed that cake lid off that cake, and I put my hand in that pound cake, and I smashed that cake in my face and ate it and put the top right back on. So later on that night, after we get home, the phone rings at our house, and my mom calls me to the phone, and she said, "Somebody want to talk to you." I said, oh my God, I know I'm in trouble, right? It was my Aunt Edie, and she said to me, "Do you know what happened to my cake?" And I said, "No, I have no idea. I don't know. I'm gonna ask you again. Do you know what happened to my cake?" I said, "Darren did it." And Darren is her grandson, my cousin. Darren is 16 years old. I'm 7, okay? So at 16 years old, if Darren wanted some cake, he could cut himself a slice of cake. So that was the wrong move on my part. That was really just dumb, okay? And she said, "Okay, I'm going to ask Darren." And she asked Darren, and Darren said, no, he didn't do that. So she said, "All right, I'll see you tomorrow when you come here for school." I was so nervous the next day. I was so nervous. I told my mom, I said, "Listen, I can just go straight to school and come straight home. I ain't got to go there. We can negotiate this." Because I knew I was going to get in trouble and get my tail whooped. And my mom said, no, you going there. You going there. So that morning, my mom took us over to our aunt's house, and I could see my aunt outside waiting for me with a belt. I never forget it. She had a blue house dress on and long black wavy hair and a belt, and she was waiting for me like this. And I could see her from the top of the street. I was crying. Oh my God, it was so funny. I was crying, and my mom let us go, and we got in that house. My aunt tore me up, okay? And the moral of the story was, after she, tore me up, she gave me a hug and a kiss and told me, "Don't ever do that ever again. If you want something, you ask me. Don't ever lie about it. Don't ever be scared to come ask me." And I learned a very valuable lesson at 7 years old. So to answer your question, Charles, my Aunt Edie was the best baker in my family. Yes. So just want to share a little story with you. I'm a witness, and this is on live. Yes, yes. Look, you already know. You know what it is, right? I try to do my best. I try to entertain, right? What is your favorite cake and what you enjoy making? My favorite cake. That's a good question. Favorite cake? So many. German chocolate cake. I enjoy that a lot. I love the sweet chocolate cake, and I love the coconut pecan, frosting that you make from scratch. That's a good cake. That's right up there with upside down pineapple cake, I think too. Yeah. So German chocolate cake is my favorite cake. I like to bake. Aww. Hi, twin. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that, twin. Thank you. Nice. Cake, blue dresses, and long hair. Listen, to this day, that was what, 1988 or 87 or whatever that was. Now, I still remember that, okay? Now, trust me, that vision is in my head. It was, I mean, for that sheer moment of bliss, I mean, just to grab that cake and, yeah, it was worth it. What cake takes the longest to make? Depends. I'm going to say a pineapple coconut layer cake. That takes kind of long to make, yeah. Because it's so much intricate. You have to make the cake layers. You have to frost it. You have to insert the pineapple filling. You have to frost it again. You have to put the coconut on the side, on the top. It's a lot of prep work. So coconut pineapple layer cake is one of the longest cakes that I have to, I do make. It takes time to make. So yeah, that answer your question, Charles. Yes, correct. I promise if I come to your house, I won't smash my cake. I'll smash my face in your cake. I vow to make clean cut slices to perfection. Well, that is a deal, and I'm gonna hold you to it, Izzy. Okay, so get ready. Yes. Okay. Well, I'll look for your name, Kathy. All right, Kathy. I'll definitely accept you. Kendra asks, have you ever made biscotti? I want to try. I love them. Never made biscotti. I love biscotti. Sometimes it's so hard and it'll break my teeth. Sometimes it's like break my molars. But maybe that'd be one thing I'll take a stab at biscotti. Thanks, Kendra. Izzy says she has to eat sticky buns with us. Yum. We can do a commercial with Steven. Cakes. Yes. I make sticky buns too, as you probably know. I don't advertise it much, but when I do, it seems to take a life of its own. So there you go. So I'm going to check on the cake, go on a commercial break. I'm going to check on our cake, see how they're doing, and we'll be right back after commercial. See you soon. Welcome back to Gimme Some Sugar Baking with Steven. Thank you for joining us today. We are finishing up our upside down pineapple cake, mini size, personal size, you want to call it. I just checked on them and they are almost done. So about 10 more minutes, you'll be seeing the final product. So hang in there with me. I know it's been anticipation, but yes. Have I seen my Aunt Monica Showell's Thomas post? I'm going to tag you. You know what? I haven't. Oh my God, I'm scared to even know what it's going to be, but please tag me so I can see it. Yes. Thank you, Izzy. Karen said, yes, I was saying me and Izzy have to invite my sister to eat your sticky bun with us. Yeah, let's make it a party, man. A sticky bun party and go viral on the internet. Boom. There you go. That's a great idea. So also, I want to also say too, starting a business, is not the easiest thing. You see other people starting businesses and it looks so easy, but it's a lot of hard work that goes with business, And while you may love what you do, there's always a business aspect to what you do. So that has been what I've been going through on a personal note, just trying to make sure that everything is conveying and lining up so I can share my gift with people on the business side too. It's two sides of everything, right? So I'm in that process of trying to bake the cakes and trying to market them and trying to get them to people efficiently. And that is where we're at right now. So anybody was wondering, well, what's going on? Where's the website? Where's this? What's that? I'm just taking my time. I'm taking my little baby steps and I'm going to slowly and methodically build Gimme Some Sugar. So we'll have a successful business, not a flash in the pan. Okay. Kendra asked me, have you ever baked with almond milk? I always do. When I bake vegan baked goods, I use almond milk all the time. All the time, yes. So Kendra said, tell us about your new collaboration. So yes, just released today. I have a collaboration with a partner of mine, so friend, partner. Her name is Shanna Harrington. She is the owner of Pure Juice and Joy in Tempe, Arizona. And we are going to have a collaboration pop up next week at her juice bar. And so Gimme Some Sugar is going to come through with some vegan desserts. Perfect segue with almond milk, right? And we're going to use vegan desserts for the pop-up. There may be some other things that are non-vegan, but the majority will be vegan desserts, okay? And we're going to be there from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're in Phoenix, Arizona and want to stop through, please feel free to come by. Information is on Instagram and Facebook for Gimme Some Sugar and for Pure and Juice and Joy. And that way you can see the details, location, time, and what we're all going to have in store for you. A lot of fun things are going to be planned for that day for everyone, adults, the kids, awesome products to be, experienced and taste and shared amongst everybody. So very excited about the pop-up. This is actually my second pop-up with Pure Juice and Joy. And the first one was a runaway hit. And so hoping for a second runaway hit next week. Thank you. How do I stay so fit and trim with these goodies? Oh my God, listen, just like everybody else with COVID-19, this has been hard. I mean, I've gained some weight, but I try just to eat a little bit. I don't eat too much. And I don't try to overindulge too much. So I don't work out, which I need. Well, I do some things, but not a whole lot like I should, but I got to find the strength to get back on a program and work out. But I try. Thank you, Karen. You should travel during cooking segments at your places. You're awesome. Lovely. Oh, thank you so much, Karen. I appreciate you. Thank you. That's an awesome idea. I love to travel, and traveling and cooking, that would be perfect. That's right up my alley. All right, let's check on these cakes. Let's see. Yeah, about 5 more minutes, and we're going to take them out. So that's it. So you know what? I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have an experience with you guys to show how you can bake at your home at ease and have fun with it. Don't put pressure on yourself when you bake. And don't put pressure on yourself when you do anything, really. That's a life lesson or a life rule. Because when you bake, it comes from your heart, right? So you don't want to do anything that doesn't come from your heart, baking or non-baking. Everything you do should come from your heart, should come out of love. And when you come from out of love and out from your heart, people see that, people feel that, and so that's why I think the response to Give Me Some Sugar was so overwhelmingly positive, because people felt the authenticness of me, and they felt my heart, and they felt the love that I put into my products. And so, whatever you do, put your heart in it, right? Don't do nothing without your heart. Kendrick asks, I'll send you my address. Can you travel here? Sure, yes. Go ahead and book me an airline ticket, and I'll be there. Yes. So my house is smelling wonderful right now with the pineapple and the caramel, the vanilla, the butter. You smell this awesome stuff. You don't even need a candle. You can walk in here. It just smells awesome. And the cake is actually wrapping up. And once it comes out the oven, we'll take out the pan and you'll see how the cake looks. And we'll be done. We're almost done. We're almost at the finish line. So just hang in. Don't leave me yet. I need you guys. I need you. I need you. Yes. Any more questions out there? Okay, so quick commercial break. When we come back, we're gonna get these cakes wrapped up and out the pan. See you when we come back. Okay, welcome back to Give Me Some Sugar Baking with Steven, and we are finishing up our mini pineapple upside down cake. And I just got me a platter, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this started to get out the pan. So whatever you have in your house, a clear plate, long as it's a rectangular size, thing, use that because you want to make the flip of the cake flip evenly. So I have a long surface here. Okay, I'm gonna check on my cakes right now. Perfect. Okay, so cakes are done. Like magic. Yes. They are done. They look fabulous. They smell fabulous. And we're going to go ahead and remove them from this pan. Okay. And always when you're using, non-stick products, baking products, baking pans, don't use your butter knife. Don't use your fork. Use silicone spatulas because you scratch up your pan. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and move something away from this cake. Boom. And they came out beautiful. Really did. Okay. So you let them cool for about a minute in the pan. And I'm going to go ahead and gently take my spatula and I'm going to just push it alongside the pan. You want the cake to be nudged. Okay. And I tell you, this cake took no time to bake, right? And when you make smaller cakes, it's always better because it's less time, which is why I like these cakes. You can have an awesome dessert pretty quickly. Yeah, these cakes are wonderful. Everyone's like looking in suspense, like, oh my god, like what's gonna happen next? Is it gonna be an upside down pineapple cake or just a cake? What's gonna be the end result? And listen, every time I take a cake out the pan, I'm always nervous because you put so much work and effort into making this, you don't want no disaster. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take my container, my pan. I'm gonna take me a towel because you don't want to get burnt. And I'm gonna take my pan from the cookie sheet. That. I'm gonna flip. I always say a prayer when I flip, okay? 1, 2, 3. And just like that, the cake came out. One of the pineapples came out, didn't come out. And go ahead and just put her right back on top, like you never saw it. And that's that. And that is your upside down pineapple cake. Voila. So you can see the cake. You can see how the caramel and the pineapple, it all came together pretty good. All right. So thank you for joining us today on Give Me Some Sugar Baking with Steven. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye.